Tonight, several breaking stories as we come on the air. President Biden's call to action from the cliffs of Normandy to stay true to what America stands for. In the U.S. tonight, the fiery plane crash, the adults and children pulled from the small plane by Good Samaritans. Also, the flame seen shooting from a passenger jet, the emergency landing, and bracing for severe storms tonight and tomorrow. First tonight, President Biden on the world stage with the lessons from the heroes of D-Day. The president on the urgent need to defend democracy and freedom and America's alliances, he argued, are more important than ever, saying democracy begins with each of us. Mary Bruce traveling with the president. The news here at home tonight, that fiery plane crash in a front yard, 2 adults and 2 children pulled from the wreckage by Good Samaritans. The pilot had been desperately looking for a place to land. Also, the emergency landing after flames were seen shooting out from a passenger jet moments after taking off. We are also watching the threat of severe storms tonight and tomorrow, the potential for damaging winds, and we're tracking the dangerous heat building across this country so early on in the season. The Hunter Biden trial tonight, Hunter Biden fighting back tears today, growing emotional as his own daughter testified on the stand. Will Hunter Biden testify next? Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas officially acknowledging trips paid for by a Republican megadonor, including a vacation to Bali. The race for president, and tonight Donald Trump arguing sometimes revenge can be justified. The images tonight, the theft on a front porch, grabbing a package just put down by a delivery driver. That driver still standing right there. Where this played out and what the thief escaped with. And one final spin for Pat Sajak. Tonight, Vanna White here at her emotional goodbye, and what Pat Sajak once said about why Wheel of Fortune has connected with so many.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening. We are just back from Normandy tonight. Our time spent with World War II veterans who made the trip back is something we won't forget. And we do begin tonight with President Biden on the world stage with lessons today from those World War II heroes. The president speaking atop the cliffs of Normandy, honoring our veterans, the place where Army Rangers scaled that cliff under gunfire, enduring terrible losses. Saying today those brave American sons would expect us to stand up for democracy and to stand with our allies rather than going it alone. Drawing a direct line from World War II to Russia's war in Ukraine today. The president making the case to Americans back home that democracy begins with each of us. ABC's chief White House correspondent Mary Bruce traveling with the president, leading us off from Paris tonight.
In Normandy today, standing on the very cliffs Army Rangers scaled to liberate Europe from the Nazis, President Biden declaring the voices of those soldiers are once again calling Americans to action.
They are summoning us, and they're summoning us now. They ask us, what will we do? They're not asking us to scale these cliffs, but they're asking us to stay true to what America stands for.
He didn't mention Donald Trump by name, but clearly cast Trump's isolationist America First stance as an affront to the men who sacrificed on D-Day.
They stormed the beaches alongside our allies. Does anyone believe these Rangers would want America to go it alone today?
The president insisting the men who fought and died on these beaches 80 years ago would want America to defend Ukraine now in its war against Russia.
They stood against Hitler's aggression. Does anyone doubt that they would want America to stand up against Putin's aggression here in Europe today?
Earlier, Biden meeting with Ukrainian President Zelensky, apologizing for the delay in approving new military aid and blaming Republicans.
I apologize for those weeks of not knowing what's going to happen in terms of funding. Some of our very conservative members who were holding it up. But we got it done finally.
For Biden, the war in Ukraine, the path towards reestablishing the United States as the leader of the free world.
My fellow Americans, I simply refuse to believe that America's greatness is a thing of the past.
The president today echoing the words of Ronald Reagan, who 40 years ago at the same location declared the men who took those cliffs helped free a continent and end a war. The president today making it clear not just to voters back home, but also to the world, the sharp contrast between him and Donald Trump as he tries to make clear what's on the line in this election. David.
Mary Bruce leading us off tonight. Mary is in Paris for us. Thank you. We do have a lot of other news to get to tonight as well. That fiery plane crash in a front yard just outside Denver. 2 adults and 2 children were pulled from the wreckage by Good Samaritans. The pilot had been desperately looking for a place to land. Coming down in that neighbor's front yard. ABC's Mola Lenghi on the scene for us.
Tonight, smoking wreckage in a Denver suburb. 2 adults and 2 children rushed to the hospital after their plane crashed in a neighborhood front yard.
We're going to have multiple patients here. Go ahead and bring us another medic unit.
Neighbors scrambling to put out the flames in Arvada, Colorado, just after 9:30 this morning.
There are a lot of Good Samaritans around, either assisting those people out of the plane or assisting them away from the plane because there was a large amount of fire after the crash.
Eric Garcia was with his 2-year-old son when he saw the plane wobbling and gliding before it crashed.
As soon as I arrived to the scene, I seen the bodies on the floor, unfortunately.
Listen as the pilot of the Beechcraft single-engine plane tells the tower he's having engine trouble.
I'm losing power quickly. I might have to put it down somewhere. Do you see anywhere that's safe for you to land? I'm trying to find a field or a park. I've got something in sight. I don't know where I am.
There was so much fuel on board late today after the scene was cleared, it reignited. Firefighters beating back the flames once again.
Well, David, you can see what's left of the plane there behind me. The NTSB, who's leading this investigation into the crash, says this plane was built in 1969, making it 55 years old, David.
1969. All right, Mola Lenghi on the scene. Mola, thank you. Also, the terrifying moments for more than 400 passengers and crew aboard an Air Canada flight from Toronto to Paris. The Boeing 777 was forced to make an emergency landing just after takeoff. Flames pouring from one of the plane's engines. Air Canada tonight saying the situation was quickly stabilized, the plane landing safely back in Toronto. The airline saying the problem was caused by a compressor stall, which can occur when debris becomes lodged in the engine, disrupting the airflow. Tonight, we are watching the threat of severe storms this evening and tomorrow, the potential for damaging winds, and we're also tracking this dangerous heat building across the country so early in the season. Meteorologist Lee Goldberg of our station here in New York, WABC, tracking it all for us. Hi, Lee.
Hey, David, the East Coast stole the severe headlines yesterday, but the focus is right back on the plains tonight. Severe thunderstorms right now across parts of Nebraska and Kansas, and new severe thunderstorms. They just went severe across parts of New Mexico and into Oklahoma and Kansas. Winds up to 70 miles an hour, maybe even some golf ball size hail. The hot zone tonight could be from Omaha right down to Kansas City later tonight during that dangerous overnight time. Now, thankfully, over the weekend, the coverage of severe weather is not as great, but still have to watch out from eastern Colorado into parts of Kansas, even Oklahoma as well. These are ridge riders. They are riding the hot dome of high pressure over the southwest. Record warmth there. Will still be triple digits over the weekend, just shy of record warmth. Still record warmth across Florida. The only comfort right here in the Northeast. David?
Lee Goldberg from WABC. Lee, thank you. We turn tonight to the Hunter Biden trial. Hunter Biden fighting back tears today, growing emotional as his own daughter testified on the stand. The defense now saying they are down to that last decision, whether to put Hunter Biden on the stand himself. Here's Terry Moran.
For Hunter Biden, it was a day of deeply personal, anguishing testimony in his federal trial on gun charges. His daughter Naomi was called to the witness stand by the defense to help challenge the government's charges that her father lied about his drug use on a federal form when he bought a gun in 2018. As Naomi testified in a subdued voice, her father appeared to be fighting back tears watching her. Now a 30-year-old lawyer, Naomi told jurors that when she saw her father while he was in rehab in California in August 2018, a few weeks before he purchased the gun, he seemed like the clearest that I had seen him since my uncle died, referring to Beau Biden, who died in 2015. And when she saw him a week after he bought the gun, her dad seemed great. He seemed hopeful. That bolsters the defense case that when he bought the gun, Hunter Biden was not abusing drugs. But a starkly different picture emerged on cross-examination as prosecutor Leah Wise confronted Naomi Biden with desperate text messages she sent her dad just 6 days after he bought that gun. "I'm really sorry, Dad. I can't take this. I just miss you so much. I just want to hang out with you." Hunter texting back, "I'm sorry I've been so unreachable. It's not fair to you." As Naomi left the stand, she and her father embraced. Sitting in the courtroom, the First Lady, who flew back from Normandy overnight to be at the trial, where she's been nearly every day. And in France, President Biden telling David in an exclusive interview that he will not pardon his son.
I know that you cannot speak about an ongoing federal prosecution, But let me ask you, will you accept the jury's outcome, their verdict, no matter what it is?
Yes.
And have you ruled out a pardon for your son?
Yes.
This case is moving swiftly towards a conclusion. Hunter Biden's lawyers telling the judge that this case, quote, is down to that last decision, whether Hunter Biden himself will take the witness stand, given the facts, a risky move. Either way, this case should go to the jury early next week. David?
Terry Moran, who has been covering this case for us. Terry, thank you. We turn next tonight to the Supreme Court and new revelations from the financial disclosure of the justices of the court. Justice Clarence Thomas officially acknowledging trips paid for by a Republican mega donor back in 2019, including a vacation to Bali. Other justices disclosing gifts as well. Here's our Chief Justice correspondent, Pierre Thomas, now.
Tonight, for the first time, Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas formally disclosing lavish trips valued in thousands of dollars and paid for by billionaire and major GOP donor Harlan Crow. They included stays at a resort in Bali and the renowned Bohemian Grove Club in Monterey, California. Thomas says these were simply gifts that were personal hospitality from a friend, and he inadvertently omitted them from financial disclosure forms as required by law. But critics raised questions about the ethics and transparency of the court after information about the trips were first published by ProPublica. In today's amended release, Thomas did not disclose travel expenses, which included a private jet, nor did he disclose the cost of time spent on a yacht as he traveled in Asia. And financial disclosures also revealing six-figure royalties or advances for books to 4 justices, including Ketanji Brown Jackson, who also disclosed gifts last year of more than $12,000 for art to decorate her chambers and concert tickets worth more than $3,700 provided by Beyoncé. Today's filings are the first from the justices since the court released a formal code of conduct late last year. Justice Alito has yet to release his disclosure. He asked for an extension until later this summer, David.
All right, Pierre Thomas at the court tonight for us. Pierre, thank you. Now to the race for the White House. And tonight, Donald Trump speaking about retribution and revenge, saying sometimes revenge can be justified. Rachel Scott covering the campaign.
Tonight, back on the campaign trail for the first time since he was convicted of 34 criminal counts, former President Donald Trump increasingly focused on revenge.
I just went through a rigged trial in New York.
In a series of interviews, Trump implying that if he's reelected, he will seek payback against Democrats, including Joe Biden.
Look, when this election is over, based on what they've done, I would have every right to go after them. And it's easy because it's Joe Biden.
In an interview with Dr. Phil, he doubled down.
You have so much to do, you don't have time to get even. You only have time to get right.
Well, revenge does take time, I will say that.
It does.
And sometimes revenge can be justified, Phil. I have to be honest. Sometimes it can.
In another interview, dodging a question about whether he would order the Justice Department to prosecute Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg, who brought the case that led to his conviction, saying, quote, "We're going to see what happens." In Normandy, President Biden telling David Trump is undermining the rule of law.
What do you think the American people should make of this? How important do you think this conviction should be in this race for president?
That's for the public to decide. But one thing for certain is stop undermining the rule of law. Stop undermining institutions. That's what this whole effort is. All the MAGA Republicans are coming out saying this was a fix. This was a jury that this was a judge that set up to get Trump. There's no evidence of any of that. None. He's trying to undermine it. Look, he got a fair trial. The jury spoke like they speak in all cases, and it should be respected.
This case is not over. The former president is set to be sentenced just over a month from now on July 11th, 4 days before the Republican National Convention begins. David.
Rachel Scott, live in Washington. Thanks, Rachel. We turn now to the Israel-Hamas war for the second day in a row now. Another school hit inside Gaza. An Israeli airstrike targeting another UN-run school. In both cases, they say Hamas militants were embedded inside. The attacks have reportedly killed dozens of civilians. Marcus Moore in Israel again tonight.
For the second straight day, a deadly Israeli airstrike on a UN school in Gaza. At least 3 people killed, 15 more injured, according to the Hamas-run health ministry. The IDF saying it targeted Hamas terrorists operating inside school grounds in northern Gaza. It comes just 24 hours after Israel bombed another UN school in central Gaza, saying Hamas militants were inside. The Hamas-run health ministry saying that strike killing at least 40 people, including 14 children. After munitions experts told ABC News Israel used U.S.-made bombs on that facility, David pressing President Biden on his relationship with Prime Minister Netanyahu.
Is Benjamin Netanyahu listening to you?
I think he's listening to me. They were going to go into Rafah full bore, invade all of Rafah, go into the city, take it out, move with full force. They haven't done that. And what they've done is they've agreed to a significant agreement.
And David, back to those 2 Israeli airstrikes on schools in Gaza, the IDF saying that they were intelligence-based and precise, adding that Hamas is using those schools to carry out attacks. David.
All right, Marcus Moore reporting tonight. Thanks, Marcus. Back in the U.S., we turn to the economy tonight and the new numbers here. A stronger than expected jobs report for May. More than 272,000 new jobs added. The unemployment rate rising slightly to 4%. When we come back on a Friday night, the newly released body camera images from the arrest of the #1 golfer in the world and what it shows. Also, the alarming theft on that front porch, grabbing a package just put down by a delivery driver. The driver was still standing right there. You'll see this in a moment. And Vanna White tonight and her emotional message. Tonight, Louisville police releasing more body camera images of golfer Scottie Scheffler's encounter with officers. Scheffler seen apologizing as he's being handcuffed. The officer appearing unaware who he was talking with.
I'm about to get arrested. I'm trying to get your teeth on.
Police revealed the officer had scrapes on his knee and wrist. His uniform was torn. Scheffler was arrested for allegedly refusing to stop for police and injuring the officer. Charges were dropped. When we come back here tonight, that alarming theft on a front porch, the delivery driver was still standing right there. And then Vanna White tonight and her message to her longtime partner on wheel, Pat Sajak. To the index, and authorities in Ohio are searching for a brazen thief tonight. Video from a doorbell cam shows the man in a hoodie grabbing a package that the driver you see right there just put it down. Here he comes. The delivery driver still standing right there. The thief got away with an Apple Watch. No arrest as of yet. When we come back tonight, one final spin tonight for Pat Sajak, the emotional goodbye from Vanna White, and some of the wildest moments when the puzzle seemed so obvious.
ABC World News Tonight with David Muir, sponsored by Vivguard and Vivguard Hytrulo.
Finally tonight, one final spin. Tonight, after more than 40 years on Wheel of Fortune,
Pat Sajak.
One final spin for Pat Sajak. This evening will be his very last show.
It's a Wheel of Fortune. Welcome to our show.
It was 1981.
Here's your new host, Pat Sajak.
Thank you.
Pat Sajak is the new host.
My name is Pat Sajak, and I've been fortunate enough to wander onto the set.
1 year later, Vanna White would join him.
Now we will officially welcome her. Please do that for Vanna White. Vanna!
The two have been watched by generations of families. Over the decades, the misses, the clue, a person, the answer, an only child. But instead...
An ugly child?
No, Dale, it's your...
What can I say? I'm a school teacher.
You are a school counselor.
Yes.
And there was this clue, with only 4 letters missing, the answer, another feather in your cap.
Another feather in your hat.
But she gets another spin and another chance.
Another feather in your lap.
No.
And a third chance.
Laura, you have another opportunity.
Another feather in your map.
They eventually get it.
Yeah, there you go.
There were the incredible wins, too. The clue, a phrase with just an apostrophe and an L on the board.
I've got a good feeling about this.
That's right.
The most amazing solve that I've ever seen was, the puzzle was a new
baby buggy.
It could have been a new anything.
New baby, new...
That...
Oh!
Over the years, Pat Sajak joking about how bland he is.
Blandness comes naturally to me. It's an amazing kind of talent. You're born with it. You can't develop it. Some people are born bland.
Tonight here, before Pat Sajak's final show, Vanna White with a message for Pat Sajak.
We've laughed, we've cried, we've celebrated. Oh, gosh. What an incredible and unforgettable journey we've had. And I've enjoyed every minute of it with you.
41 seasons, an incredible run. I'm David Muir. I'll see you Monday. Good night.
Thank you for making World News Tonight with David Muir America's most watched newscast.